Oh, fuck me,
What's going on with my mic too? I can't even hear myself.
Oh man, so I missed a good chunk of this already broadcast. Apologize for that, but we're gonna go ahead and we're currently updated with riding with Barrows at the moment. Looks like our fast four is gonna be
Hold on a second. You're still off.
What?
Hold on. I don't know. All right, we're good.
But yeah, it looks like Chris, we're really doing a great job here as they're keeping their own lines. It seems like we were talking about the distance on this track. It seems like it's really going to matter. But if you look there, number 4 and the number 7 are right next to each other. They've actually connected, like I was talking about. That's really going to be a problem for the number 22 crew as he comes around. He's really going to have trouble keeping that gap as long as those two stay together.
That is true.
It looks like Eric White to the number 7 is pushing his teammate around this track. Doesn't look like he's intending to pass him. It does look like he's going to take him, but I'm pretty sure they're probably going to stick together, which is going to be the smart thing to do. Barrow's going low. Really dangerous move this late in the tires, unfortunately, but let's see what he can do about maintaining. So just a recap here on the last race that we had, which our first place, like we talked about, was Andrew Klua, the number 22, took the last race with bonus points of 7 and only led that one lap to take that race. Eric White, number 7, came in second place. He had led 46 laps of that, so I'm pretty sure he was upset. We have Michael Schultz, which unfortunately has retired as a driver, came in third place, and then we have our other 19 driver, Mason Arujo, which came in fourth. Mason actually started in 9th in that race, so really surprising it for him. Like I said, I'm super excited to see what he can do for the rest of the season. But it looks like the number 4 is falling back from the number 7, and the number 7 starting to close that gap on that 22. I'm hoping that we get to see something special happen here. We're going to go ahead and jump back and we're going to watch the 41 and the 19 run around a little bit. It looks like they got a pretty good distance running behind them, trying to catch up to the front of that pack. We're going to So, Chris, do you have like you can look at how many laps are left?
Yeah, so currently we're on lap 21 with 115 in total there.
The track temperature is decreasing. It's now 108 Fahrenheit.
It should be 94 laps remaining. 94 laps remaining to go. Make that 93 as of now.
Well, it looks like the 41 was blinking out a little bit. And keep in mind, Chris, we got our first stage at 30 and our second stage at 60 laps. So we'll be blowing the whistle as the leaders come across for lap as it turns into lap 31. So the leaders will be coming around for 30, and when they're going over the finish line for 31, bam! Let me know. I'll go ahead and hit that flag for us. But we'll go ahead and do those, see who can win this first stage. I'm going to go ahead and switch back up to the front here to Clue. We're going to go up in the blimp and see. He's got a pretty good distance on him, Chris. He's sitting about 1.4 seconds. What do you think these guys are going to have to do to catch up to him?
I mean, these guys are just going to have to work together and piggyback off of each other and help each other back up to that top position there. Otherwise, it's kind of impossible to catch his draft at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's looking pretty distanced between all the vehicles that are in this race currently, Chris. That I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get together with all the space in between them. But we will see what happens, and hopefully they can pull something together before this stage ends. But it looks like it's going to be our lineup for the end of the stage if nothing happens.
That is true, but I mean, the stage change does allow these back people to actually catch back up with the pack and hopefully make some changes.
Yeah, and again, you know, as being out there myself, and I'll have to race the next race at 9 o'clock, you know, being out there and learning the line, and if you don't get it the first time you're out there, you can definitely do those corrections in the second stage and make sure that you're running the appropriate moves.
Anyway, as of now, the 19 followed closely by the 41 here. Back at the pack, 6 and 7 to place. Let's go ahead and get our leaders up here again.
Yeah, currently right now I'm actually following number 22 Clue from the front, just watching these guys try to just return this back up to the front here. But again, these two teammates of Eric and Barrow look like they're pretty gapped apart at the moment.
Yeah, again, there is no one in sight here behind Clue. Even from we are currently in our chopper view here, there is no one remotely close to Clue. So he is just exceeding here and putting down some good laps.
Well, as we're sitting here rolling around, I need to deliberate real quick. Give me about 5 seconds, and I'll be right back with you. I'll leave it in your
Sounds good. So, well, it's kind of boring up here with the leaders. Let's go ahead and see what else is going around along this track. Barrow making up some distance to our leader, but back here in the backpack seems the number 19 kind of swerving around. Don't know if he just hit a wall or anything. Definitely close to the 41 car there. And unfortunately, that 41 car just took in, and the number 19 now car is now in 7th place here. Don't know if he must have hit a wall or something that lost him a lot of speed, but the 41 is just cruising away from the 19 car there. Let's head back up to our race leader again as we close in at our first stage end here. Again, a clue here, leading the pack for our first stage.
Yeah,
with Barrow right behind, but I mean, still some substantial distance between them.
Yeah, there's definitely this leader is really pulling it away, making it look like an easy task to do. And I'll tell you, this track is definitely not the easiest to do. When you get halfway around this like this, and you can steadily keep your gap, it does look like Eric is starting to close that gap a little bit now that he's coming around. I don't know, Chris. It does look like the 7 is increasing his gap, he might be able to catch this before this end of this stage. What lap are we on now?
We are about to. This is our final lap, 29. So as soon as they cross this finish line, we go into our next stage. And yeah, my apologies. I didn't know it was the 7 car behind him, but Eric White did just tap the wall, so that did create some more distance between them.
Oh, the 22 just smacked the wall.
Talk about great timing, but unfortunately, that is, or fortunate for them, that is the end of stage 1.
So they're coming around. Is it 31 right now?
It's 30. It's about to be 31.
Okay, I'm watching them, and I'll go ahead and call it when the leaders come over the finish line. End of stage this lap.
Eric White in the 7 car right behind the 22, making some more distance, though.
He is pushing hard. Look at him push hard. He's almost up to the back of 22. He's pushing really, really hard trying to get that stage win, but unfortunately, it looks like 22 is going to be able to... Oh, 22.
Oh.
22 touched the wall. 7 down low, 7 down low. And it looks like 7 is going to take it for the stage. That is it, sir.
Wow.
That is it.
Full course caution, be careful.
Last minute change right there. So it's official. Not expected, but Eric White taking the first stage, becoming our first stage leader here for the first half, or first half of our race here. 7 car, Eric White taking the lead here in California.
Yeah,
Pace car is out. Pits
back
are closed.
And, take another look at that. You see, as Clue hit that wall, Eric dipped down low, and he had enough speed to be able to cross that finish line, no problem. So yeah, Eric White, number 7, is going to be our stage winner.
Yep, that was just good racing out of him today.
All right, looks like number 7, Eric White, is going to be our stage 1 winner.
And while our racers go ahead and do their couple laps around, we're going to dip out for a little bit. We'll be back right before green flag.
Yep, we're going to go ahead and, like he said, take this time to take a small break while they're coming around, and we'll see you again soon.
Are we good? Oh.
The leader, Barrow, is pitting.
Want me to talk? Can they hear? Hello. Cool. If you can then just stream your game in the race broadcast booth in that way. Yeah. Wait, so how do you show it perfectly on your side?
We're going green next time by.
Well, maybe I can try doing that as well. So just go ahead and do it. I have your stream up anyway, so I can keep it like that. And if you just stream on there, I can just try messing with it. I mean, it won't look the prettiest in the world. Its pixels will be like, they're gone. Yep.
All right, there we go. We ready to go live again?
Green flag, we're racing.
Because we're green flag again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're back. So, looks like the number 4 is sitting on the outside at 22. Barrows is back up front again. Let's see what he can do with this lead. Hopefully he's going to be able to maintain some kind of distance between him and Clue, because we know Clue's going to be able to at least try to get up there pretty quickly. So it looks like. Are you good, Are you good, Chris? Everything good to go with you, buddy?
Yeah, we're good to go.
So it looks like 22 actually got the jump on number 4, and he looks like he's going to go ahead and take the lead for this first start of stage 2. Closely following behind, you got Austin Dixon, and then you got Barrow's teammate Eric White. Back behind him, it looks like it's going to be the number 19 of Mason Araujo.
Full course caution, watch out.
Looks like I wasn't on the lead camera. Yeah, no, I was not on the lead camera, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like they had a caution. I'm going to go ahead and spin that back, and let's see what happened there, guys.
And this is our second official caution.
Yep. So it looks like the 19 had gotten loose and went into the 28, unfortunately. 28 went into the side pit wall and hit the wall. It doesn't look like the 19 incurred any kind of damage. We're going to go ahead and go back to the lead lap now.
We're under caution. Pit's closed.
I was given the wrong information. So, Chris, what do you think that is going to do to the number 19 on this long run here?
Well, unfortunately, he's now inside pit lane right now. Unclear how much damage he has or what he has to do. Unfortunately, he was already back a pack, so he's gonna, if he wants to stay in this, he's gonna have to hope for another yellow at some point. That's pretty much the only way at this point to get back into it.
Right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and pull Mr. Araujo up for a quick interview, see if he's available. I want to see what his thoughts were on that last incident. Oh, it doesn't look like he is available on this. Nope, he is available on this side. We're going to go ahead and pull him back up with his teammate. And then we'll talk to him in the other channel.
User was moved to your channel.
So we got the number 19. It's Jamie and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do have a copy.
Yeah, 19. So we seen that getting loose right there on those fresh tires. You know, we were watching you sort of just take your time in the back. You were catching good speed and getting your gaps cleared. What are your feelings on that last incident into the 28?
It's unfortunate. I've had some pretty bad runs on this track before, and I figured I'd eventually get loose on one of these corners, especially coming off with some fresh tires. And unfortunately, it just ended up that 28 was behind me, so I ended up clipping 28.
Well, we're glad to see that you're back out onto the track, and what do you think will be the strategy to maybe get yourself up to the front of the pack?
Right now, I don't really have a strategy. I'm just gonna try to race as best as I can, try to stay behind the pack, try to hopefully push by a few more cars here, and maybe get a little further towards the front.
Well, we've seen you've had success in the past in a couple of your other races, including your last Xfinity race, which you placed in third. What are your thoughts on how that race went compared to how this race is going, and what do you think your success for the future will be?
Well, I think a large portion of how those tracks went, they went obviously a lot better because I'm more comfortable with larger.
All right, Jamie, get ready. Race will resume at the end of this lap.
So the smaller tracks are a little bit more difficult for me. So I'm hoping that I can master it and get it down and try to hopefully pull something out here.
All right. Well, good luck to you, sir. We're going to go ahead and send you back up with your teammates. Good luck, and we hope you can pull off a win tonight.
All right, appreciate it.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, we're going to see if
The track temperature is falling. It's now 104 Fahrenheit.
We're going to pull Child up into the other platform. So we got number 28, Jessica Childs. This is Chris and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do have a copy. How's it going?
It's going good. It looks like you've been running a hell of a race so far. ARCA points leader here, and unfortunately got a little bit of contact with the 19. What are your feelings about how this race is going so far?
Yeah, I didn't think we'd have very many cautions this race, but I don't know. I've used up my 2 fast repairs, so we'll see how it goes, I guess. I was involved in two wrecks, so I don't know. Just trying to stay positive and staying in the game.
Well, that's a great attitude to have, and we really appreciate you being out here racing with us today. And there's definitely some points to be had out here with as many drivers that are here. We didn't expect this many cautions, but we'll go ahead and get you back up there before green flag. Good luck to you, Jessica, and have a great race.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Green, green, green. Let's go.
All right, so we'll get her back up there so she can concentrate on her race. We're going to go ahead and switch back over. Dooms, what are your thoughts leading back into stage 2 into this race?
Stage 2 here. This reset just allowed these top people to get close to Barrow here.
So it looks like Eric White is going to be up in the front lane with his partner Barrows. Barrows is going to be all the way up in the front, leading the pack with the 22 close behind. Looks like these guys are running a nice, close, tight-knit group at this moment. Hopefully they can get some good green flag laps in here. Looks like we're missing the 28 car. I don't really see the 28. Do you have eyes on the 28?
Negative. Oh wait, the 28. Right now in 6th position with Mason there in the 19 close behind.
All right. Well,
Again, I believe the 28 car there is about 44 seconds behind the cars in front, and the number 19 there, Mason, is a whole minute and about a half behind. So they're a couple laps down. I think the number 19 is definitely a couple laps down there.
you said the 19 is a couple laps down.
Yep, so the 19 there is 2 laps down, and the 28 is 1 lap down.
I wonder how that had happened.
That was probably that crash, that yellow one out, and he just had to stop there for a couple repairs. Or it's also he got that black flag that he needed to get cleared, so maybe that gave him a couple penalties.
Well, and again, how many of these guys had black flags?
And it seems that our 41 car is out. Do we know anything about that?
No, we don't.
He just hopped into the pits. Big battle up in first and second here. The 44 overtaking the 4, but the 4 responding back with passing him back. So it was a 1-2 switcheroo right there.
You got it, brother. I'm not sure what happened, but it sounded like it happened to Mason as well.
And unfortunately, that means for the 41 car that also got that DQ there, the black flag, he's also going to be 2 laps down now. So hopefully, they'll either get a lucky dog or we can give him a wave around during this next restart.
We'll work in wave rounds for those guys, because that should not have happened.
Channel switched.
Hold on 1 second, Chris. Just I'm going to go into deliberation real quick. Hey, guys. Mason, you're gonna get a wave around. Did it DQ you?
Yeah, it fucking DQ'd me.
Are you back out?
Yeah, well, yeah, it never pulled me off the track. All it said was you have been disqualified. I said, well, what? I'm still on the fucking track.
And I cleared it before it did it, right?
Well, no, I mean, I got it, but then you cleared it, which just got rid of it completely, which is whatever. But
well, I'm gonna wave you around, and I'm gonna wave Hope Penland around as soon as we get the next stage, okay?
sounds good to me.
Ooh, awesome beating wall in front of me.
The wall a little there. 84 car just happened to gently touch the wall. Didn't seem to have lost any types of speed, but he definitely did touch the wall in that last lap.
Race control to Penland. You will get a wave around on the next stage for the accidental DQ. We're not sure what happened there, but we're going to get you your wave around so you get back out there.
Just going through these relative standings, you know, the 22 behind the number 4, only 0.2 seconds behind.
You got
and
that,
Dixon
Penland?
almost being a whole second behind.
41, you're going to get a wave around on the next
Big
stage.
battle up front right now for P1 between the number 4 and that 22 car. 22 taking the lower, deciding to take the lower path, but unfortunately could not make a move on that 4 car. 4 car just holding this position 1 for a pretty long time at this point.
Well, and again, Chris, as we've seen later on in the last stage, the 22 was actually able to hold a better and faster line on those older tires. And then right now, they're going side by side. I think the 22 is really going to... The Ford really needed to make a bigger gap than he has now on that 22 to be able to stay ahead, in my opinion.
Yeah, 22 looking low right here. Could this be the time that he shines and gets past the 4? A little extra speed coming out of him. Front wheel and rear wheel are side by side on the 4 and the 22. But ultimately, that 22 or the 4 is still holding the lead here, and the 22 has to go in behind him and start drafting off him for another attempt to get around him. It seems to be just a switchback between each Each corner, 22 goes low, 4 stays high, and ultimately, the number 4 keeps coming out on top, and the 22 just has to keep going behind him. It's been like this for the past, I would say, 6 laps.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's go ahead and jump back to 41, which was temporarily pulled into the pits there for a minute. We don't really know what happened or why officials had pulled him into the pits, but he's back out there running by himself. I'm hoping that doesn't cause him to go another lap down before he actually gets caught up back to that pack. He should have fresher tires than that pack, so he should be running a faster lap at the moment. But let's hope he doesn't need to worry about that later on in the race.
Let's go back to our leaders here. Oh, we have a collision between the 84 and the 7 here. Seems like both of them have recovered nicely onto the track. No yellow flag from our system here, but again, the position 1 and position 2 side by side right now. The number 4 and the 22 with the number 4 just barely holding the lead here. 22 right now has become the race leader, but I don't see that staying like that for too long. The number 4 is definitely going to try to come back here.
Yeah, that was some serious contact, Chris, between the 7 and the 84. They're definitely going to have a little bit of damage on both of those vehicles, but they did maintain that very nicely with not actually being able to hit a wall or anything like that. Right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go look at that number 7 car around the outside. See if, yeah, we definitely got some damage, Chris, on that front right side of that number 7 car. Let's see what that does to his speed. It does look like he's got a little bit of damage to that right back as well, because they collided pretty freaking good back there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to skip back to number 84, see if we can see any damage on that vehicle, because it looked like he jumped in the air. It looks like he only has a little bit of damage on that back right side, that back driver's side. It looks like the rest of his car looks pretty freaking good. So I'm hoping he's going to be able to maintain this. But yeah, that was a pretty significant crash there.
Thanks for calling out the number 7. We've been watching the 22 this entire time, and unfortunately for the number 4, the 22 has just been slowly getting further and further away from the number 4. The number 4 to catch up at this point, he's starting to lose that draft there, so he better hold a tight line behind the 22 and get as much of that itty-bitty draft as he can right now, but it's looking like the 22 is running away at this point.
Yeah, like I said, Chris, he needed to really get a good gap on that 22 before the tires started to wear off. Once those tires start to wear off, it was clear that the 22 had a much faster line. Most likely now, we may see the 7 approach the 4, or we might see somebody else come up in the line. But right now, as it sits, the number 7 is going to be he's going to be 6 seconds back from our leaders.
Right, with Burrow being only 1, so the distance between Burrow and White there, the 4 and the 7 car, is pretty substantial there. On board now with the number 7 car, Eric White, who is trying to catch up after that wreck that was caused between the 7 and the 84 there, but luckily both recovered and have not gone into the pits, as I can see.
We'll go ahead and, since you're cutting on board with his partner, I'll go ahead and go on board with Barrow here, your race pick. See how he's doing on these lines and how he's holding his line now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still think Barrow's got it in him. He's only down by 1. He's controlling the field as his standings go. He actually does not have the best lap anymore, but he has a better last lap than our race winner. So he is definitely actually decreasing the distance between him and the 22 car right now.
And going back, what are our current laps looking like right now, Chris?
Current laps. You talking about best laps right now for everyone?
No. What is our lap status at right now? What are we at?
I see. We're at 57 laps of the 115.
57?
Yep. So actually 58 as of right now. So I believe that stage 2 is fastly approaching, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Chris. Yes, it definitely is.
And again, this distance between the 22 and the 4 just keeps on growing now. 2.7 seconds, and is actually ticking up by the millisecond here. So,
Yeah, it really looks like the 22 is just putting on a show at this point, Chris. His line and when these tires start to wear off is clearly much faster than anybody else on the track. It's going to be really hard for these other drivers to get back up to a point where they're going to be able to make any kind of competition for him today.
that is true. Do you think anyone during this next quick break during that yellow is going to try to elect to go get some new tires on?
They better, because if they don't, Chris, they're really going to be in a lot of trouble trying to get back up to the front. We really are not sure what it's going to look like during this restart, because we do have to get those 2 wave rounds. But let's hope that we can get everybody as close to the lead pack as possible. Try to create as much competition in this race towards the end.
That is true. We were kind of on board with our drivers here, looking at their speeds, and it seems that our leader here, the 22 car, is about like 7 miles per hour faster than the 4 car. So he is definitely making itty bitty distance between them. This is our 60th lap of a 115. About to be 61.
All right, well,
as of now.
And race control. Did he just pass it?
Yep, we are now on lap 61 of 115.
Be careful, we've got a full course caution.
There goes out the caution to go on to our next stage.
Yeah, so Chris, can you let me know who was actually a lap down? We had to give that to Penland, which was actually disqualified completely, and Araujo, correct?
And also Childs is down by 1 lap.
We're under caution, pits are closed.
Yeah, a whole minute and 10 seconds behind. My relatives show 1 lap down. You have Childs, you have 41 and a 19 car, and the 41 and a 19 are 2 laps, and Childs is 1 lap down. But unfortunately, different from last stage winner, or the leader, Blue has taken the 2nd stage here in California.
All right, Penland and Araujo are going to catch their waiver rounds. Childs should have gotten the lucky dog.
Sounds good. And while these racers go ahead and recollect themselves and possibly do some pit strategies, for the next half, we are going to take another short intermission. We'll be back once it's about to go green. Yeah, I'm muted on mine. Yep, pretty clean now. I have to admit, my camera angle.
The leader, Barrow,
like
is pitting.
It's like trying to watch, one of those old movies on YouTube. It is pretty. It's all right. Better than no audio. I'd rather have less quality for audio. Let's see, should I put the pit strategy on the screen? Let's try it out. Yep. How much longer do we got? Yeah, but like how many laps till green? I gotta go use the bathroom.
All right, as our broadcast still takes a quick break, race control is going to get back on.
Get ready, race will resume at the end of this lap.
This is going to be the final one until they go green for the final stage, which is going to be 45 laps, I believe. Hopefully these drivers can maintain and be able to take advantage of these tires, because that's going to be the biggest objective, is tires, and finding the line that's best for those ones.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 100 Fahrenheit.
Let's see, we got the 22 on the outside of the 4 in the first place. 4 is going to be in second place, followed by, it looks like, the 84 and the 41. Now, I'm not sure where our other racers are at the moment. Let's go ahead and check on them. So the 19's coming out of the pits right now, and it looks like the 28 is coming around to catch up to the pack.
All right, welcome back to the main broadcast, folks. About to go green here at California.
Well, to update the main broadcast, it looks like 22 has came out of the pits in the lead. The number 4 Barrow is going to be on the outside, and the 84 is going to be followed up in the 4th place with the 7 behind Clue in that 2nd place. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to...
Green flag, we're racing.
And we still have 2 cars that are still catching up in the back there, which is going to be a Rujo and the 28. It looks like they did actually catch up to that pack before they went green. So they're going to be able to hold up with them. It looks like Arujo is now only a lap down. Is Penland still showing only a lap down or 2 laps down?
Penland is 2 laps down as of now. Oh, we have a car off the track here.
Looks like Penland, as we're talking, speak of the devil, winds up getting loose and going down the track.
Big crash.
I've got a full course caution. Watch out.
Big crash. Full caution. Full course caution. All right,
we're under caution. It's closed.
We're going to have to go back and take a look at that. We're going to go ahead and see what happened. It looks like the teammates had gotten into each other, the 4 and the 7. I'm not sure whose fault it was quite yet. Let me get another look at this.
I mean, at this point, is it the chemistry between these teammates that is causing this, or does this just happen to be unfortunate luck for the both of them?
No, it looks like it. Yeah, I'm not sure about the chemistry at this point, because this is not the first time that the 7 has made contact with one of his teammates. But it does appear to be the 7 that had actually done that. I need to look at it from one more angle just to make sure that it was the 7. And yes, it was the 7, unfortunately. All right.
Okay. While he deliberates, let's go ahead and look at our instant replay back when this action happened here. Again, we saw that car go off into the skirt there, but that is not who caused this accident. It came sooner, or later, I should say, right there, 4 and the 7 on that turn here at California. We are currently working on a slower version for you, just waiting for it to catch up, and we can show you it in more slow motion here. Here we go. Again, the 4 and the 7 colliding there here at California with 65 laps down and 115 to go. Our racers should be back on the track near their green flag here. So let's go ahead and jump back to our main broadcast, live broadcast here. Again, it says it's our 5th caution of today, but it's in reality our 3rd because 2 of those are used for stages. We've had 3 cautions here today at California. Only that is probably our biggest wreck of tonight as of right now. As it stands, we have 2 people in the pits, both the number 7 who is in that wreck, and the number 19 is also in the pits as well. The rest of the pack deciding to stay out.
Who did you say
Not
we had
going
in the pits, Chris?
That was going to be the 19 and the 7.
The 19 and the 7 are in the pits.
Okay, Jamie, get ready. Race will resume at the end of this lap.
An advantage. Hopefully the 19 still had another fast repair left to finish out the rest of this race. But that's going to be an advantage for those guys that are a lap down, Chris. They really weren't going to get a chance if there wasn't another caution to be able to get back onto that lead lap. So now it makes it actually a little bit more of an interesting race. 28 had already said in her interview that she didn't have any more fast repairs left, so that would have been detrimental for her race to be getting into that kind of accident this early towards the end.
That is true. I just got word that the number 19 has just left the pit lane. He spent about 3 minutes in the pits there himself. Still no word on the number 7 car who is still in the pits as of right now.
Well, and again, Chris, I think that was his 2nd accident. He may actually be having to do optionals to get back into this race.
And unfortunately, I believe we're about to go on our green lap here. So this is not good for the number 7 car being this far behind with only a couple more laps to go. I mean, still a decent amount, but definitely not what he would want to catch back up at this moment.
Nothing like the performance we seen last week where he took 2nd place, split in the middle on the last lap, Chris. Definitely.
Green, let's go.
Today.
And again, we're back at the green with the same start. Actually, Barrow got the jump off the 22, is technically in the lead right now on the high line. We'll have to see if the 22 can defend it. And it does seem the 22 taking that inner line does allow him to get some additional speed, but the 4 is still opting to stay on the outside line here.
Yeah, it looks like we got the 19,
84 right
Chris.
behind him.
The 84 is pushing really, really hard up with them leaders, but we got the 19 following up behind in the back of the pack back there. Significantly back there. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but it looks like they got a good gap on him already, and that's not going to be good for Mason Resources.
That's not good for the number 19, who is also 3 laps behind, and as of now, still that number 7 car is still in the pits, still working on those fixes for his car.
You said Mason Arujo was 3 laps down?
3 laps down, and actually is not technically the last person anymore. Is number 7 Eric White is now last in our race, probably 4 laps down as we stand right now.
Well, like I said, Chris, he did take a definitely good spill into the number 4 and into the wall. I'm surprised that the number 4 was able to get back out there as well after that, but I knew it was going to cause some significant damage. That's going to be a real detriment on the Devils today. So
Again, this 22 car taking a lead on the number 4 there. Now almost a half a second in front of him. Definitely dominating the field right now. And if he can maintain this distance, he can almost get some good lap times in and maybe even take the win. And of course, it's too soon to tell with 71 down and 115 to go. Still a lot of track, a lot of miles to do. Anything can happen. We know yellow flags do come out this race. So anything is possible from this point on.
I am super curious, Chris, what happened to Araujo. He definitely got that wave around, and I seen him come around. Do you think that crash actually, with the 7 actually caused that much damage to his vehicle?
Well, did the 19 get involved with that? Or are we talking about the 7?
I swear he got involved in it the last time, right? But I don't know if he had any fast repairs to be able to get back out onto the track. Very surprising today with as much contact as we've had.
We just had a move by Austin Dixon there for the 2nd position, but unfortunately, fortunately for Barrow, securing his lead still at P2, but unfortunately this battle between them has only greatly allowed 22 to escape them, now almost a second in front of them.
Yeah, it looks like Jessica Childs is definitely pushing really hard, but she's got that 41 looking on the inside right now. 41's looking pretty fast himself after that little incident he had with the spin out on the last lap. Plus, you got that official disqualification for some reason. We're still not sure. He got that official wave around, which brings him only a lap down. If anything does happen, he will get that lucky dog. He'll be able to get back up onto the lead lap, hopefully, and show these guys what he's got.
So as it stands right now, I've still not heard any word from the number 7 or White there, who seems to still be in the pits. Jamie, as a driver yourself, I mean, at this point, do you just stay in the pits? Do you even come back out at this point?
Well, it's unfortunate, like I said, for the Devils. It does look like he has left the race for the day. We have no communication with the number 7 car at this time. Hopefully we can get an interview next race.
Sounds good. We'll have to keep you guys up to date on that as the battle continues.
Looks like the 41 just touched the wall just a second ago. 4 is pushing hard. 84 just touched the wall. 84 keeps looking low on the number 4, Barrows. Austin Dixon trying to keep up to the front. Doing really well this race compared to how he did last night in that double crash. He wound up actually having to leave the race in pretty bad condition. He had to go to the infield care center, and they've unfortunately removed him for the race for the night.
That's unfortunate, but again, this battle between the 4 and the 84, while exciting, is only hurting both of them as this 22 car is just cruising. Now over a second distance between them and climbing still.
Like I told you, that Clue is a really fast car tonight. He knows how to hold them tires and be able to keep that fast line even now. So now that he's already created a gap on the fresh tires they have, they're going to have a real difficult time catching back up to him, Chris.
This 4 car now pulling away from the 84, creating some gap between them. Almost 0.3 seconds between them, but trying to catch up to that top spot now. I mean, that top, the 22 is just pulling away now, almost a minute or a second and a half.
So yeah, unfortunately, Chris, I'm back here looking at the 19 car. He does have a good amount of damage on that Xfinity car on the top and the front right, left, or the front panel. It seems like it's making it front and right side. It looks like it's just not, he's not able to get the speed he really wants out of that side. hard to do. It's going to be unfortunate for the GEC racing team today.
It is pretty unfortunate. Back to the battle between the 4 and the 84. The 84 car has picked up some speed, but the 4 just launches himself away from that 84.
Well,
Was
Chris,
it crash?
well, Chris, it looks like the 19, the 22 is actually catching up to the 19 around this next corner. If you take a look at me real quick, I'll show you the significant damage that we actually have on the 19 car. It looks like he must have got into something on that last one, and unfortunately, it's just he's trying to push as hard as he can. But those leaders with those fresh cars are just pushing right through.
Definitely. With being 3 laps down now with that poorly car, it's almost impossible. And that 22 in sight of behind him, about to be passing him.
Really unfortunate.
If anything, at this point, that 22 is going to even increase his distance even more, just allowing him to draft off 19 car there.
We'll go ahead and ride around with the Rougeau real quick as these leaders pass. It sounds like he's barely feathering that gas. I'm not sure how hot that engine's getting, Chris, but I'm pretty sure he's got some oil and water problems in this one.
That is true. Back on board between the 4, passing that 19 car, severely damaged. The 84 now a little bit further behind. Again, this gap between the 4 and the 22 now almost 3 seconds and a half. That gap just keeps going. That 22 is cruising his way around California right now.
Right now on board with the number 28, Jessica Childs. She gets passed down low by the 41. It looks like the 41 of Penland is racing really hard to try to maintain his status in this race. Childs is having a lot of trouble coming around the corner, Chris. Pushing as hard as she is trying to get around these corners. The tires are going to start to wear off even more. I do see actually a little bit of damage on her car, Chris. Let's go ahead and go out front of her vehicle. And, yeah, she's got a little bit of damage. Looks like on that passenger front side, she's got that whole quarter panel pushed in. It looks like it's touching that tire. Could be prevented from turning correctly. That must be what we're seeing with as hard as she's trying to take this race.
That's unfortunate, and I just got a Skycam view as it seemed either the 19 car was taking the line, or I think he just went into the pits. That might be it for the 19, calling it quits for this race. As he was down 3 laps.
Well, let's see if
he's
he's
now in the pits.
Gonna go ahead and stay in the pits, Chris, and we'll go ahead and if he is, we'll pull him up for an interview and see what happens.
Sounds great. Again, as this race continues now, only down to 5 cars standing from our 7 originally. The 28 car being 4th place. The 41, reminder that there is no battle between them as the 41 car is still down by 1 lap. So allowing him to go around. Do we just have a burnout? Someone in the grass?
Did somebody just go? Did somebody?
Did
just
the
get in an
84
accident?
just burn out? I think the 84 went into the grass.
Yeah, I'm changing. I'm looking right now. Yeah, that was a good call, Chris. The 84 definitely.
Can you go ahead and restart that? I want to get that for the broadcast here.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. So it looks like the 84 is coming around, coming out of turn 4. It actually touched that wall, got loose, went down into that main field down there, and it looks like he actually was able to hold it without incurring any more damage, and he was able to get back up on the track successfully.
I mean, good for him, but it does now make him suffer significantly now. 35 seconds behind the 22 car. And again, this gap between the 4 and the 22 only increasing now 7, almost 8 seconds now. I mean, at this point, the 22, if he can just hold this lead, he pretty much has won this race.
Yeah, then so the 19 looks like he's sitting in. We're going to go ahead and get an interview with him real quick.
User was moved to your channel.
So this is the number 19. This is Jamie and Chris up in the booth. We got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So we're just curious. Oh, it looks like the number 7 just pulled out of the pits.
Yeah, me and number 7. Well, actually, number 7 ended up causing that last caution there. And, I wasn't able to avoid him as he was coming down off the wall, and we both basically put each other out of the race for a good while there. I got back onto the track without doing the optional repairs, but my car wouldn't go over 165, so I figured I'd pull off the track, make it safer for everybody else, and get these optional repairs done. Whether it puts me at the back of the line, which I know it will. We'll see if we can at least run a few more laps.
Well, in the name of the game at this point, is obviously going to be points. It's really unfortunate that you didn't have any more fast repairs to take care of the incident between you and number 7. I had a feeling that's what it was because we looked back and you were all of a sudden 3 laps down. Auto Club is a really hard track to take care of. You've been doing a really great race up until that point. Really just a judge of what your feelings are for maybe the next race.
My confidence level is very low at this point, but like I said, we can only hope to see what happens. Hopefully it works out more for the best rather than more like it did on this race.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not good. Well, again, we have another race to deal with, which is going to be the Cup race.
The leader, Barrow, is pitting.
And I'm going to be there with you as well. What are your feelings for the upcoming Cup race now that you've got a good look on how this feels?
Well, I can only hope to keep my tires. That's all I'm going to say.
The track temperature is decreasing. It's now 96 Fahrenheit.
In the next race, if you get your optionals out there, get as many points as you can, and good luck, sir.
Yeah, I got about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to repair, so I'll be out after that.
All right, we'll see you back out there.
User was moved out
All
of the
right.
channel.
Well, we just concluded with that interview. A lot of interesting things just concurred during that, so I want to just kind of go over those reviews. So first off, as he stated, that Eric White actually rejoined after being in the pits for 15 minutes, is now in 7th place, or last place, with 19 laps down. In addition, actually Dixon entered the pits, only being in there for under a minute, and Barrow just entered it and just left, only being in there for a minute. Must have just changed his tires or something, but unfortunately for Barrow, that puts him down at 4th position, about a minute behind the race leader there, who also just entered the pits. So actually this might work out in the favor of the number 4 car if he can just come around quick enough.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be their pit strategy, Chris, for the last part of this race. What current lap status are we at right at the moment?
We're at 90 of 115.
90 of 115, yeah, Chris. So they're coming in for the last pits of the race. They're hoping not to have to pit again, and we'll see what happens with this reshuffle on this pit status. It looks like Barrows does have a little bit of damage on that number 4 car, that Ford Chevy. Go ahead, it looks like he's got a little bit of scrapage on that right passenger side. Yeah, he definitely has some damage up on that right passenger front. But it doesn't look as significant as some of the drivers out here today, Chris. Let's see what he can do to maintain his speed with that damage on the right front.
True. Again, he is currently in position 2, back to where he was, only 20 seconds Well, I mean, still 20 seconds behind, but that gap is closing very quickly.
Right.
This is the first time that I've actually seen this gap clock count down instead of just continuously counting up. So this is good work out of the number 4 car here to catch up back to that 22.
Yeah, like you said before, Barros definitely has a lot of speed and potential. With the win on the last night's race at Vegas, his confidence level has to really be up. Like I said, he does have that little bit of damage on that front right. So let's hope that he can just get himself around the track. They got about 25 laps to go. Not a horrible amount of time left, and we'll see what these guys can do.
I'm watching this 84 car next to our race leader 22. He just tapped the wall moments ago and almost wrecked the 22 out of this race. So that was good racing on both of them to avoid that accident, almost causing a fatal blow to 22 here, costing him his lead.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back and watch that. See what happens.
Again, the 84 there just bouncing off the wall there. Moments, actually seconds ago, right behind our race leader 22 here. And that 84 car is actually in 4th position here, so there is no battle between these two cars. They're just trying to get in front of each other. The 22 car was on the apron there for a second, thinking he was about to go into the pits, but he's doing some voodoo stuff here, folks.
22 actually just came out of the pits, but I did see the 84 got a little bit loose on that backside over there. 41 is going to be Penland. He's going to be in the 5th position. He's trying to push back and hopefully be able to get that lap back. It looks like Penland also is suffering from a little bit of damage on that front side. This track, as well, has not been a very fun mistress today, as we've seen. Yeah, Penland's got a good amount of damage on that front right side. Let's hope that that doesn't impede him from trying to do the best to get up front.
We have the number 7 and the 4 car right behind each other. Unfortunately, that 7 car, he's down a lot of laps, but having both teammates there, maybe the number 7 car can help this 4 car out and help him get back into that 1st position. But it does look like that 7 car is slower than the rest of the pack there, so the 4 is just going to go right past them.
Well, I'm really impressed with his tenacity to get back out onto the track, Chris, and just get the points for his team that his team needs for the laps that he can create. The win at this point isn't within his grasp, but definitely to be able to get out there and help his team take the lead for the season. Anything he can do to do that will significantly boost their chances.
It is true. Some updates that the number 19 car has exited the pits, spending about 8 minutes in the pits there. That was a couple moments ago. He is back on the track. He is actually in 6th place. He's down by 15 laps, so there could be a battle between the 19 and 7, but I highly doubt that. There goes the 19 car right there, followed closely by the 7.
It seems they fixed a good amount of damage on that 19, Chris. The hood's a little pushed up, but it looks like those sides are cleared from them wheel wells. He might be getting a little bit of speed, a little bit more than he actually was before. During his interview, he said he was only getting about 100, 165 miles an hour. He should definitely be getting significant more speed than that at this moment.
That's true, but unfortunately his speed is not what he needs right now. He needs a bunch of yellows to get those 15 laps back. There's almost no way he can catch up now to those pack leaders.
No, Chris, he's actually just going to be looking for bonus points at this time, trying to complete the race, making sure that his team actually gets the laps that he's putting down. At this moment, what we haven't mentioned is the 19 and the 84 are on a team, GEC Motorsports, and they're going to be falling back into the team standings. They really got to pull something out in the next few races to be able to pull ahead.
Again, this battle between the top 2 positions is still a one-sided affair here with 19 laps to go. The 22 car is still holding a reasonable 21 seconds in front of 4 car there. So if this race keeps going like this, greens and no yellows, we are looking pretty much at 22 being your race winner today. At this point, the number 4 and pretty much the rest of the pack is hoping for this yellow to help solidify some additional rank ups at this lineup as it stands, but there's so much distance between these players right now, these racers, that unfortunately there's almost nothing they can do but just race.
Well, and again, Chris, the number 22, we already knew he had speed. Oh no, something has happened to the 19. It looks like he made contact to the wall. I actually sounded like he blew his engine there for a second, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Hopefully he can get back up to speed. Let's go ahead and go check back up with the leader. Now, Chris, mind you, the leader, we knew he had speed. We knew he had capability to win races. Andrew Clue, number 22, is the one that actually won last week's race, Xfinity race at Daytona. And it looks like he may be able to pull it off again this week.
Which would be pretty good for 22 there, as he will solidify his champion status within the Xfinity race here, winning back-to-back weekend nights here and setting the stage and a high ceiling gap here for the other players to catch up.
Yeah, that is correct, Chris. These guys really got to be careful how much he pulls ahead with points, winning 2 races in a row. They're going to have to concentrate and really practice and make sure that they're able to take a win themselves, because if Klug gets too much further, he will solidify his championship status into the Final 4.
Again, this battle we are watching right now with the 41 and the 7, unfortunately, even though it looks to be interesting, 7 car being down so many laps that it doesn't matter and should just let the 41 go as he did. Try to get the position for the 84 car, who is 22 seconds in front of him. Let's head back up to this leader to check this gap out. Again, this gap is still increasing. About 23 seconds and still climbing, so our race leader here, 22 as it stands right now, it seems like he's going to win with only 15 laps to go.
Yeah, that gap is crazy, Chris. I just don't understand where the guy is finding all that speed. I'm going to go ahead and ride along with Jessica Childs for a moment, see how she's doing. Childs is going to be running in her 3rd place position right now for the Xfinity. It looks like Jessica didn't have such a great race last week as an Xfinity driver. It looks like she placed 7th in the last week's race, so she's looking to really up the ante and be able to take home a good win today for her team.
And again, this gap keeps increasing. Now almost 25 seconds between the 4 car and the 22. Both cars showing great performance, but the 22, of course, just adding that little extra spice on top, allowing him to basically control this last half of this race here, and has not allowed for anyone to overtake his position. Remind you that earlier in this race, it was actually the number 4 car who actually started in P1, and it was actually 22 here who started in P2, and they've just kind of flip-flopped between until the 22 just overtook him about halfway around this track and has just dominated the field ever since.
Does look like, even though Barrows may not catch up to the 22, he is going to get that 2nd position as long as nothing happens. Now, if say yellow does come out, Chris, what do you think that's going to do to the finish of this race and how people are going to land in the standings?
As it stands right now, Clue has been showing this dominance on the field. I think 22's got it. Even if a yellow comes out, he's just going to hold on to that 1st place no matter what. The only tricky part to look out for is that number 4 has the best jumps off of those yellows I've ever seen. But he could just get a nice restart off of a yellow.
Yeah, this is true, Chris. And you got to keep in mind, if they do jump off of a yellow, we know that if they wind up pitting and getting fresh tires, that Barrows does have the speed in the beginning to take the win over the 22. But he will have to change those tires to be able to successfully do that. Now, keep in mind, the gap doesn't matter if that yellow comes out, because if Barrows can get fresh tires, he's pinned for the win.
That is true, but as it stands right now with 11 laps to go, still no yellow flag in sight, as most of these racers are evenly split across our field. And still that gap is continuing to creep up, now about 28.5 seconds. But at this point, I mean, 22, it's been pretty much the same race leader for the past, I don't even know, 50 laps. So we could be looking at our race leader and also getting bonus points for the most laps held leading.
This is true, Chris, and like we said, for a few of these racers, it's going to be all about bonus points at this standing to try to get their team and themselves the most points they can to try to be able to go into the next race and have a good standing and not have to worry about where they may place. Obviously, the 22 and Burrows, they're not really going to have to worry about much, but the 19 may have some catching up to do when it comes to points after this race.
And again, looking at the fastest laps across the field, still, the person controlling the fastest lap is also the 22 car, of course, from that dominating performance here out on the field, controlling it and still allowing him to get the fastest lap here and additional bonus points on top of his winning.
Well, we're going to see here, Chris, how many bonus points he gets after this.
In addition, he's still pulling away, getting the fastest lap on the last lap, 42 seconds, while everyone's probably a second slower than he's doing, so he is just cruising through these people right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Chris, that pit stop that the 84 did bring him a lap down, so he's unfortunately going to be in the 4th position due to that. Without a caution, he's not going to have a chance to get back up into that up front with those guys.
That is true. At this point, it comes down really to our P1 position here, the 4 versus the 22. Everyone else is down by a lap. It's coming down to our last couple laps here, 7 to go. But again, the 22 still somehow scraping a lead, still increasing that gap between the two. Now over 30 seconds.
Now, I will say, even though the 41 is a lap down, he is racing Childs like he is not a lap down. They are pushing really, really hard to try to get around this track. We know later on on the tires, Jessica has a little bit of trouble getting around. But that was because of that damage also that we've seen on her vehicle. It looks like she's been able to maintain a decent corner around this track, but it does seem like she does still have a little bit of damage on that front right.
We are coming almost to our last 5 laps here. This is the point where we would start saying that this is where you could expect the most amount of crashes, but I don't see much people pushing here. Everyone's kind of, a lap down on each other. There's no big battles going on. Currently, we're looking at the 84 and the 4, who, again, are technically not battling for position here. If anything, the 84 should actually be helping the 4 here get back up near the 22, but at this point, it's kind of impossible being 31 seconds down.
Well, and again, Chris, you have to think the Devils and GEC Motorsports, they're not rivalries, but they're definitely not going to willingly work together when it has nothing to do with the other's benefits. So I really don't think I don't see the 84 pushing him. I see him just trying to slow him down to where he doesn't get as many points for his team. Now, it looks like we're going to have to do the interview with the winner on...
We just saw the 84 hit the wall there. Luckily, no one was near him, but he kept most of his speed with the 4 right behind him. Can the 4 pass the 84? I mean, again, it's not like this outcome changes any standings, but we've been watching these two battle for the last couple of minutes here.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. That's definitely going to slow him down a little bit, but that also slowed Barrows down as well. Like I said, they're working for points right now, so that could be significant to Barrows. But Barrows looks like he still has a clean vehicle. I don't see a whole lot of damage going on there, so he should be the faster car. But somehow Dixon is able to still keep speed after hitting that wall like that.
True. Number 4 car electing to stay beneath the 84 car, looking like it's working out for him. Getting close to the 2 cars, but holding their lines. This is some good racing out of the 2. 84 into the wall. That's going to slow him down, but still keeping that draft with him. They are racing like it is first and second place. But again, this battling between them actually doesn't help the number 4 out at all, because it actually helps that 22 keep establishing a gap now at almost 34 seconds.
Yeah, I do have to say Clue 22 has definitely put on a show. He made it look easy. Let's hope he can finish this out. He definitely...
The 4 car just decided to brake there, maybe heading into the pits.
You said the 4?
No, the 84. 6 in there.
Nope, 84 is still out.
Two laps to go in 31 seconds. We pretty much have our 34 seconds of a gap between. We pretty much have our race winner here, unless a miraculous yellow comes out. But once we're under that one to go, that is it. We are on our final lap as of now, so no yellows to come out. So it's pretty much a game winner for 22 there.
Yeah, he's definitely moving around the track pretty fast, Chris. He worked really hard for this victory.
The track temperature is falling. It's now 92 Fahrenheit.
He's got this victory, and we look forward to seeing his burnout at the end. That'll be the number 2 for him, 2 in a row. I'm looking forward to see what he can do for the rest of the season.
With that, we have our unofficial results. We have concluded that the 22, of course, is our race winner here tonight, folks. I mean, destroying the competition, if we must say. I'm almost numb by how much I've said that the 22 has done tonight, because he's just dominated this entire last half of this race. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Chris, we definitely have to mention how Barrows was definitely putting up a fight in the first half of this race. He definitely put up a little bit of competition, but towards the last part of that race, Clue made it look easy. So can't wait to get an interview with him. Like I said, that the interview is going to be performed on the other platform. So I'm going to go ahead and get him up here. Wait a second. I don't see him. Oh, yeah, I do. All right, guys, so we're sitting here watching the leader burnout number 22, Clue. This is his second win in a row. Big win at Daytona. Now he's brought it to Auto Club. 22's in the booth with us now. 22, do you copy? Looks like we got a little bit of a communication thing going on. He's going to go ahead and park it on the checkered flag on the field. Clue, let's go ahead and do you have a copy, sir?
Oh yeah, I got you. That was smooth. Y'all saw that?
Yeah, definitely saw that. So obviously
Oh,
after your win at Daytona, big win at Daytona, and then you bring your success over here to Auto Club. Really, honestly, throughout the whole race, you sort of put on a show. Just putting that gap to the work and making sure that those guys couldn't touch you. Barrows did put up a little bit of competition in the beginning of the race up till the middle half, and he was doing well until his tires start to wear off. Seemed like you had a better line with those dirty tires than most anybody on the track. You pulled off a 37 gap on everybody, and like we said, you did an amazing job today. What are your thoughts and feelings about today's win?
um, genuinely, I thought that this was going to be absolute worst track that I went to this season. I hate Auto Club. Um, but something that I learned by just watching everybody else is that the farther you went into the corner, the harder it was to get the car rotated. So genuinely, what I did is I backed off before everybody else and just hugged that white line. There in the beginning, when I was racing with Eric, I got in the wall 3 times. I really thought that that's how my day was going to go. That once the tires started to wear out, I was going to start making mistakes. But the final time getting on and off pit road was like 8 seconds ahead. Then ended up, I want to say, about 20 seconds ahead. So just getting clean on, clean off. That's really what separated the race right there. It was fun, stressful, but a lot of fun.
That's good to hear. It was a very entertaining race to watch from the booth. Obviously, we had a few more incidents than we expected with how many racers that we actually had on the track. Still an entertaining race nonetheless. Those accidents had put a few people back. If those same people that had those incidents like 7 and the 19, and as we know the 41 went a couple laps back. What do you think? Do you think it would have been of a harder outcome, or do you think you would have had the same kind of success with those guys on the lead lap?
Well, hindsight's 2020. If they would have been there, can't tell you what it was. But yeah, me and Eric got that rivalry going, so I'm pretty sure that if it came down to me and him there at the end, he, I think he'd do the same. But if he was in front of me, I'd take the win. And if I was in front of him, I'm pretty sure he'd take the win. So if he was there, it would have been a much more interesting race than what it was.
Absolutely. So, and again, 2 races in a row. You're definitely going to be in the points lead. It's going to get you a good gap on everybody else, and you've almost solidified your playoff standings as one of the playoff drivers for the championship. Now, for the future in the next race, what maybe to some other drivers did you do to prepare for your wins that you currently have, and what's your plans to prepare for your next one?
Just keep doing what I'm doing. Keep going in them practice races, just learning throughout the week. I mean, if you watch that first practice race I did this week, I think I finished 7th or something like that. I mean, I did a miserable job. Just keep on, improving. I've only been on iRacing for 2 months, and I've been racing for 2 months now. So it's just keep on improving, keep on learning. Yeah, my dog just came home, so if you hear that, I haven't seen my dog in 2 days. So
Nope.
she's excited to see me.
That's amazing. And we appreciate you spending your time with us, and go spend time with your family, enjoy your win, and we look forward to the next race here at 9 o'clock. Hopefully we'll see you out there. But good win.
No, I hate those new cars. I can't stand them. I do Xfinity and trucks for that reason. I can't stand them new cars.
Well, either way, good win, and hopefully you have the same success for the rest of your season, sir.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for my parents for watching. Hope I can do it again next week. Appreciate you guys talking to me, and hope everyone has a great night.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, so we also have the number 4 up here, Barrows, which came in second place. Barrows really pushed hard in that race, tried your best. Outcome wasn't what you were looking for, but you definitely did not place last. You were one of the fastest guys on the track. What are your thoughts and feelings about this race?
Nah, it was definitely not what I wanted it to be.
my teammate. We got together in turn 3 there, and I don't know. We just wasn't on the same page, I guess, and I don't know. It's just I didn't have the tires. I couldn't save them as long as Clue was able to save his. But it is what it is. I'm still happy with the number 2 spot. So
We did notice in talking to Booth about the synergy of your team going forward, and how you guys might change your strategy on how you might be practicing in the future to maybe not let this incident, something like this, happen again. And what are your thoughts?
well, it's like I said, it was definitely nothing on purpose, and I mean I think he's upset about it, but I know he knows it wasn't on purpose. But and from here on out, I mean, we just need to probably get together a little bit more. And I made a run into to 3 on him, and then I seen Dixon coming up, and I wanted to try to get behind him. And then I looked up in my rear, mirror. When I looked back down, he was coming down to that line to try to catch Clue, and we just got together. And I mean, it sucks, but we'll get it ironed out.
All right, man. Sounds good. We look forward to seeing what you can do. Obviously, you took that marvelous win at Vegas in the truck race. Really great win that yesterday. Today, second place, not a bad overall outcome for you and your team, the Crimson Devils. What's your plan for the next race, and how do you feel for your future?
I think it's going to be a pretty good future for us, and next race is going to be tricky, really tricky. I don't really, it's going to be an interesting one. I know that much.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, Barrow. We're going to go ahead and talk to a couple more drivers, and then we're going to get out of here, guys. We're going to go ahead and talk again with the number 19. 19, what are your feelings on how everything went for you this race, and what this means for your team and hopefully your next race?
I think it could have went a lot better. I mean, I don't really have much to say about it. I didn't really get too much practice out there on that track beforehand, so I mean, I started doing well towards the end, which is not where I needed to do well. I probably would have did better off with that at the beginning, but it worked out how it worked out, and that's about it.
All right. Well, we definitely look forward to see how you take anything that could have happened in this race and apply it to your next race, and see what kind of speed you can pull out on this track. As far as the next one, we're going to do 84, and then we're going to get out of here. Austin Dixon, also racing for GEC Motorsports. What are your thoughts and feelings on how this race went for you, sir?
Race went pretty well. Got in the wall a couple times and then spunts out over by the front stretch, but I can't complain. The race, congrats to Clue, by the way, but it could have went better.
Yeah, I understand. It seemed like we were looking at right front damage all day today. Right front damage. Everybody was married to that wall. Just kept clipping it. I'm sure that definitely we were talking about how it detrimented the speed and seeing how you guys could keep up to the pack. But you didn't place too bad in that one, actually, Dixon, and you got out there and you tried your best. We're looking forward to seeing what you can do next race. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and table. I appreciate you doing the broadcast. Everything was beautiful. Good job on that, and that's where I'm going to go ahead and sign off, guys. I'll let Chris take it for the broadcast from here.